हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल स्टडी विथ PK Q&A में आपका स्वागत है। और आज हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे टेस्ट 14 का पार्ट सेकेंड। ओके, सो एंड इफ़ यू लाइक द वीडियो प्लीज़ लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब टू माय चैनल गाइस ऑल्सो, क्योंकि सपोर्ट की ज़रूरत होती है। चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं आज का पहला क्वेश्चन। फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन ऑफ द डे विच इज़ consider the following statements regarding the Khutkarti system prevalent in the Chota Nagpur Plateau. Okay, first statement is the system was based on individual ownership of land, which allowed the British to control the Munda tribe through land revenue collection. No, it's not a correct statement. Let me tell you why. Because it's not individual's land; it's a common land. Okay, common land. If we're talking about the statement 1, which is this system operated under the clan-based structure, okay, where land was not owned by the individuals but by the community or a khut, which means lineage or clan. Each family had right to cultivate a portion of the common land and produce was shared among the clan members. Okay, so first statement is incorrect, and next statement is the Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act, which is CNT Act 1908, finally abolished the Khutkarti system. No, it's not abolished. Okay, so statement second is also incorrect. Okay, the act recognized the collective right of the Munda over their ancestral land, effectively safeguarding the Khutkarti system for external encroachments. Okay, not abolished. Okay, so answer for this question is option number D. None of the above is correct. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is with reference to dark oxygen. Okay, sometimes seen in news, which of the following is correct statement? First is it is oxygen produced in deep ocean by sunlight. Is it true? No, it's not a correct statement. Next is it is generated in the atmosphere through chemical reaction. No, it's also not correct. Next is it is an oxygen produced in deep ocean by metallic nodules. Yes, it's a correct statement. So statement C is the correct answer for this question. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is which of the following statement is not correct with respect to Nagpur session 1920 of the Indian National Congress, which is INC? So first statement is the program of non-cooperation was endorsed in the session. It's a correct statement. Next is the Provincial Congress Committee were organized on linguistic basics. Yes, it's also correct statement. Next is the session was presided by the C. Vijay Raghav Charyar. Yes, it's also correct statement. Okay. Next is a resolution was passed for reconciliation between कांग्रेस एंड मुस्लिम लीग. ये कांग्रेस सॉरी नागपुर सेशन 1920 में नहीं हुआ था. ये किस में हुआ था? तो लखनऊ सेशन में, जो कि 1916 में हुआ था. ओके, सो स्टेटमेंट डी इज इनकरेक्ट एंड आंसर फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन इज ऑप्शन नंबर डी, क्योंकि यहाँ पे नॉट करेक्ट पूछा था. ओके, सो आंसर इज ऑप्शन नंबर डी. लेट्स कम टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, विच इज the term Daksh project is sometime talk about in the context of Daksh project. किससे related है? The first statement is developing next generation military drones for surveillance. Is it true? No, it's not a correct statement. Next is enhancing disaster management and emergency response using UAVA technology. No, it's not a correct statement. Next is creating national cyber security framework to protect government network. No. Aims to build high energy space telescope for a study of explosive astrophysics sources. Yes, it's a correct statement. So answer for this question is option number D. और ये दक्ष प्रोजेक्ट जो है वो लीड किसके द्वारा किया जा रहा था? लेड बाय IIT बॉम्बे के द्वारा, एंड इन क्लोज कोलैबोरेशन विथ, और इस कोलैबोरेशन किसके साथ किया जा रहा है, तो फिजिकल रिसर्च लेबोरेटरी एंड टाटा इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ फंडामेंटल रिसर्च एंड रमन रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूट एंड यूनिवर्सिटी सेंटर फॉर एस्ट्रोलॉजी एंड एस्ट्रोफिजिक्स एंड वेरियस इसरो सेंटर्स, ये सब के द्वारा ये सभी कोलैबोरेट कर रहे हैं आईआईटी बॉम्बे के साथ. ओके, बट लीड किया जा रहा है आईआईटी बॉम्बे के साथ. ओके, सो आंसर इज option number D. Let's come to the next question, which is which of the with reference to the Montagu Declaration and Montfort Reform, consider the following statement. First statement is the August Declaration of 1970 made the demand for self-government by the nationalist non-citizen. Is it true? Yes, it's a correct statement. Next is the Congress welcomed the Montfort reform since they accommodated most of the nationalist demand. Is it true? No, it's not a correct statement, because the Congress met in a session in August 1918 at Bombay under the Hassan Imam's presidency and declared the Montfort reform to be disappointing and unsatisfactory and demanded effective self-government instead. Tilak termed the Montfort reform unworthy and disappointing, a sunless down, even as Annie Besant found them unworthy of England to offer and India to accept. Okay, so statement second is correct. So answer for this question is option number A is the correct answer for this question. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is as per the SIPRI yearbook, there has been increase in the nuclear stockpiles. In this context, consider the following statements with respect to the India's nuclear development. First is, currently India is the only nuclear power which has adopted no first use policy. नो फर्स्ट यूज पॉलिसी में क्या होता है, न्यूक्लियर जो इंडिया सिर्फ ओनली नहीं है, इसमें और कौन कौन सा आ जाएगा, तो हो जाएगा. सो स्टेटमेंट फर्स्ट इनकरेक्ट है, बिकॉज इंडिया सिर्फ नहीं है, इसके साथ यूएस, चाइना एंड अदर कंट्रीज भी साइन किया है इसको. ओके, सो फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट इज इनकरेक्ट. एंड नेक्स्ट इज second statement, operating Smiling Buddha is the name of the 1998 nuclear test which took place in the Pokhran. It's also incorrect because Smiling Buddha 1974 में किया गया था. ओके, और 1998 में तो बाद में हुआ था. ओके, so statement second is also incorrect. So answer for this question is option number D, neither one neither two is correct. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is how many of the following factors contributed to the British government's shift in policy towards free India in 1945? So first statement is the emergence of USA and USSR as supreme power supporting Indian independence. Yes, it's a correct statement. Next is the increased influence of pro-imperialist factors within the British government. No, it's not a correct statement, because India requests were met with greater sensitivity by the new Labour government, unlike the previous conservative government. Okay, so statement second is incorrect. Next is the economic strain on Britain caused by the war and debt in India. Yes, it's a correct statement. So answer for this question is option number B, only 2 is correct. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is which of the following best describe the primary cause of the Cripps mission failure? क्रिप्स मिशन के फेलियर का सबसे प्राइमरी कॉज क्या है. ओके, सो फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट इज द ब्रिटिश रिफ्यूज टू नेगोशिएट विथ पॉलिटिकल लीडर. नो. द लैक ऑफ यूनिटी अमंग पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज. नो. डिमांड फॉर इमीडिएट इंडिपेंडेंस बाय इंडियन लीडर्स. यस, option number C is the correct answer for this question. Okay, and if you are talking about Cripps mission launched in March 1942, significant yet unsuccessful effort the British government made to seek Indian cooperation for the war during the period of World War II. And Sir Cripps और इनका एम क्या था, तो लॉन्ग पेंडिंग इंडियन डिमांड्स फॉर सेल्फ गवर्नमेंट एंड मीन वाइल रिटर्न कोऑपरेशन ऑफ इंडिया विथ ब्रिटेन in the impending war against the Axis powers. Okay, so answer is option number D. And if you are talking about the some provisions related to the Cripps proposals, first is dominion status, another one is constituent assembly was to be established that would draft a new constitution of India, another one is right to secede. And if talking about the failure of the Cripps mission, there is lots of reasons for the failure of the Cripps mission, which is the Cripps mission offered dominion status to India after the war, which was seen in the insufficiency by many leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, and were advocating for complete immediate independence for British rule. And in 1942, Gandhi called off the post-dated check on a crashing bank, emphasized the lack of genuine commitment to Indian independence. Okay, and Muhammad Ali Jinnah's protest for the Muslim League and divergent political interests like Hindu Mahasabha, depressed classes, and another one is tone of British government proposal like take it or leave it. Okay, and another one is British were known for their broken promises. Okay, अपने promise कभी fulfill नहीं करते थे. Next question is the primary objective of Simla Conference in 1945 was. Okay, first क्या हो जाएगा, the discuss of immediate stand for dominion states to India. Is it true? No, it's not correct. It's a negotiation of terms of the Cripps proposal for Indian self-government. No, deliberate on the Wavell's plan for the reconstitution of the Viceroy Executive Council. Yes, it's a correct statement. So answer for this question is option number C is the correct. Okay, and if you're talking about the Simla Conference, which is held in 1945, the main feature क्या था इसका और इसका एम क्या था पहले, द एम टू फैसिलिटेट ग्रेटर इंडियन पार्टिसिपेशन इन गवर्नेंस बाय इंक्लूडिंग मोर इंडियन मेंबर्स in the executive council. Okay, and if you are talking about the main feature of the Wavell's plans, first is except for the governor general and commander in chief, all the members of the executive council should be Indians. First, another one is representation of both caste, Hindu and Muslim are equal. And next one is the reconstruction council was to function as an interim government within the framework of the 1935 Act, that is not responsible for the Central Assembly. Next one is the Governor General was exercise his veto on the advice of minister. And another one is delegation of all parties were to submit a common list to the Viceroy for the nomination of Executive Council. In the case a joint list was not feasible, the delegation were to submit separate list. Okay, and another one is possibility were to be taken for the negotiation on a new constitution once the war was final won. Okay, so ये सब सारे reasons थे. So let's come to the next question, which is consider the following statements about the Lucknow session 1916. Okay, this session was presided over the Ambika Charan Majumdar, AC Majumdar. Yes, it's a correct statement. Next is it was the first Congress session attended by Gandhiji after his return to the India from the South Africa. No, it's not a correct statement because गांधी जी इससे पहले भी इसको अटेंड कर चुके थे। गांधी जी फर्स्ट टाइम अटेंड कब किए थे आईएनसी के, तो वो किए थे कलकत्ता सेशन में, वो भी कब 1901 में। ओके, व्हेन ही यूज, और उस टाइम कहाँ रहते थे वे, तो साउथ अफ्रीका में रहते थे। और जब वो आए थे अटेंड करने तो किससे किससे मिले थे, तो वो मिले थे सर फिरोज शाह मेहता, लोकमान्य बाल गंगाधर तिलक एंड जी के गोखले से। ओके, सो ये इनका फर्स्ट टाइम नहीं था। और गांधी जी इंडिया कब लैंड किए थे, तो 9 जन 1915 को। ओके, और जब अफ्रीका से आए थे तो 9 जनवरी को हम लोग भारतीय प्रवासी दिवस के रूप में मनाया जाता है एवरी ईयर। ओके, और आप हमें कमेंट में ये बताइए कि भारतीय प्रवासी दिवस मनाना हम लोग कब स्टार्ट किए थे। ओके, सो आंसर फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन इज ऑप्शन नंबर ए, ओनली वन इज करेक्ट। ओके, लेट्स कम टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन विच इज which of the following was a significant features is introduced by the Government of India Act 1919. So first is introduction of the diarchy in provincial governance. Yes, it's a correct statement. So answer for this question is option number A is the correct answer. Okay, and if you're talking about the Montego-Chelmsford reform or Montfort reform, which were accordance with the policies outlined in the Montego in August 1917 declaration. Okay, if you are talking about the main features of the Montego-Chelmsford report, और ये जो गवर्नमेंट इंडिया एक्ट है उसमें Montego-Chelmsford रिपोर्ट भी उसी टाइम आया था 1919 में। ओके, और उसका मेन फीचर क्या है, पहला है एग्जीक्यूटिव जिसमें डायकी सिस्टम आता है। ओके, एंड जिसमें ये बात किया गया था कि एग्जीक्यूटिव में डायकी और द रूल ऑफ टू was introduced with popular ministers and executive council members. The governor was to serve as the province's executive leader. Okay, and in this list of subject was divided into two categories. Okay, two categories में divide किया गया था, पहला is ट्रांसफ़र कैटेगरी और दूसरा इज रिजर्व कैटेगरी। अगर हम ट्रांसफ़र कैटेगरी की बात करते हैं तो उसमें कौन कौन सा आ जाएगा, तो एजुकेशन, हेल्थ, लोकल गवर्नमेंट, इंडस्ट्री, एग्रीकल्चर, एक्सरसाइज एट्सेट्रा, ये सब आ जाएगा ट्रांसफर्ड में। एंड अगर हम बात करते हैं रिजर्व्ड की तो उसमें कौन कौन सा आ जाएगा, फाइनेंस, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, इरिगेशन, लैंड रिवेन्यू, ये सब आ जाएगा रिजर्व में। ओके, एंड अगर हम लेजिस्लेचर का बात करते हैं तो इसमें आ जाएगा देयर वॉज इंक्रीज्ड कंसोलिडेशन ऑफ द कम्युनल एंड क्लास इलेक्टोरेट सिस्टम, separate electorate for Muslim were established earlier through the Government of India Act 1919 में, and voting right were extended to women as well. Legislative Council had the authority to propose laws, but they needed the governor's approval. The governor could veto bills and issues ordinance, and the budget might be rejected by the legislative councils, but it required the governor could reinstate it, and the legislators had the right to free speech. Okay, and if you're talking about the central government without responsible government, तो इसका एग्जीक्यूटिव कौन सा हो जाएगा, फर्स्ट इज द चीफ एग्जीक्यूटिव अथॉरिटी वॉज द गवर्नर जनरल, अनदर वन इज एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन वॉज टू बी डिवाइडेड इंटू टू लिस्ट विच इज प्रोविंशियल एंड सेंट्रल, and the 3 of the 8 members of the Viceroy Executive Council were to be Indians, and reserved subject of the provinces were still entirely within the Governor Generals. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is who was the Viceroy of India during the Surat split of the Indian National Congress? कौन थे, तो कर्जन थे, नो, इट्स Lord Minto II. Okay, Lord Minto II was the viceroy at the time of सूरत स्प्लिट, और सूरत स्प्लिट कब हुआ था, 1907 में। ओके, 1907 में. एंड इफ़ यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द टेन्योर ऑफ द लॉर्ड, सबसे पहला टेन्योर था लॉर्ड एल्गिन सेकेंड. ओके, इसका कितना था 1894 टू 1919. ओके, 1999. एंड इसके टाइम में क्या हुआ था, तो नेक्स्ट इनके बाद जो बने थे वो लॉर्ड कर्जन बने थे. ओके, लॉर्ड कर्जन 1899 टू 1905. ओके, 1899 टू 1905 में लॉर्ड कर्जन बने थे. और इनके टाइम पे क्या क्या हुआ था, तो divide into two part, Bengal and East Bengal in 1905, and various institutions were established under the leadership of the Archaeological Survey of India, which is Department of Commerce and Industry, and Agriculture Bank. And another one is Cooperative Credit Society in 1904, and Sir Andrew Fraser Criminal Investigation Department Police Commission in 1902, and established the Agriculture Research Institute कहाँ पे, पूसा रोड में. and appointment of the Raleigh Commission in 1902, जिसका एम था to suggest investments to universities, and Indian University Act was passed in 1904 based on its recommendation. एंड अगर हम बात करते हैं नेक्स्ट वन विच इज़ लॉर्ड मॉन्टेगो चैम्सफोर्ड, इसके टाइम में क्या क्या हुआ था, इनका टेन्योर कितना था 1905 टू 1910. ओके, 1910 ये इनका टेन्योर है, किसका, लॉर्ड मिंटो सेकेंड. और इसके टाइम पे क्या क्या हुआ था, मॉर्ले मिंटो रिफॉर्म जो कि 1909 में हुआ था, फॉर इट्स डिवाइड एंड रूल पॉलिसी. एंड इसी के टेन्योर में एरा ऑफ ग्रेट पॉलिटिकल अनरेस्ट भी बोला जाता है, एंड एंटी पार्टीशन एंड स्वदेशी मूवमेंट एम्ड टू प्रिवेंट अनजस्ट पार्टीशन ऑफ बंगाल, एंड देन बॉयकॉट ऑफ फॉरेन गुड्स. एंड इसी के टाइम में फॉर्मेशन ऑफ मुस्लिम लीग जो कि 1906 में हुआ था, और सूरत स्प्लिट 1907 में. ओके, एंड अगर हम बात करते हैं लॉर्ड हार्डिंग की, तो उसके टाइम पे क्या, तो इसका टेन्योर कितना था 1910 टू 1916 तक. ओके, और इनके टाइम में क्या क्या हुआ था, एमोल्यूमेंट्स ऑफ पार्टीशन ऑफ बंगाल जो कि 1911 में हुआ था, वॉज डन बाय सपोर्ट रिवॉल्यूशनरी एक्टिविटीज़. और इसी के टाइम पे जो बिकम न्यू दिल्ली एज कैपिटल, न्यू दिल्ली को कैपिटल बनाया गया. ओके, और ये थर्ड दिल्ली दरबार था 1911 में. थर्ड दिल्ली दरबार 1911 में लगा था, और इससे पहले 2 दरबार और लगा था. ओके, और वो किस टाइम पे लगा था ये मैंने कल ही के वीडियो में बताया. सो आप हमें कमेंट में बताइए इसका आंसर कि फर्स्ट एंड सेकेंड दिल्ली दरबार कब कब लगा था. ओके, ये टेस्ट नंबर 14 में ही मैंने बताया है, जो कल मैंने अपलोड किया था उसी में. ओके, सो कमेंट में हमें बताइए इसका आंसर. ओके, लेट्स कम टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन विच इज़ who among the following personalities said untouchability question is one of the life and death of the Hinduism? If untouchability lives, Hinduism perishes, and even Indian perishes. Okay, but if untouchability is eradicated from the Hindu heart, roots and branch, the Hinduism has definite message for the world. ये किसने बोला था, ये M.K. गांधी जी ने बोला था. ओके, एंड अगर हम बात करते हैं इसमें स्वामी विवेकानंद की कुछ इम्पॉर्टेंट फैक्ट्स, तो क्या हो जाए, स्वामी विवेकानंद उन्होंने क्या किया था, तो अगेंस्ट अनटचेबिलिटी एंड कास्ट सिस्टम एंड प्रीच्ड अगेंस्ट देम थ्रू आउट हिज लाइफ. ही बिलीव्ड दैट मॉडर्न कास्ट सिस्टम वॉज जनरेटेड वर्जन ऑफ द ओरिजिनल कास्ट सिस्टम. ओके, एंड इफ़ यू टॉकिंग अबाउट द जवाहरलाल नेहरू ने क्या किया था, तो जवाहरलाल नेहरू जी की अगर हम बात करते हैं तो वो बिलीव क्या करते थे, दैट कास्ट सिस्टम वॉज अ सिंबल ऑफ रिजिडिटी एंड एक्सक्लूजन दैट ऑप्रेस्ड सर्टेन ग्रुप्स एंड स्टंटेड इंडियाज ग्रोथ. ही थॉट that the caste system concept of purity and pollution led to the development of narrow attitude and exclusiveness. ये किन्होंने बोला था? तो ये जवाहरलाल नेहरू ने जब जी ने बोला था. And if you're talking about the B.R. अम्बेडकर, तो उन्होंने क्रिटिसाइज किया था कास्ट सिस्टम एज अनजस्ट एंड द प्रैक्टिस ऑफ अनटचेबिलिटी एज इनह्यूमन. ही शॉट टू अवेक एंड ऑर्गेनाइज द अनटचेबल into a potent social and political force. He criticized the Hindu scriptures for their biases against the lower caste. He advocated the abolition of caste system in his famous work, which is उनका फेमस वर्क क्या था बी आर अम्बेडकर जी का? तो वो था द एनिहिलेशन ऑफ कास्ट. ओके, ये गांधी जी का फेमस वर्क है. ओके, सो आंसर इज ऑप्शन नंबर बी, which is option number C, M.K. Gandhi is the correct answer for this question. Let's come to the next question, which is with reference to the Khilafat movement. First statement is the Khilafat movement started because the dismembering of the Turkish Empire under the Treaty of Locarno. No, it's not a correct statement. Next is Maulana Azad was the part of Khilafat committee formed for the countrywide agitation. Yes, it's a correct statement. So answer for this question is option number A is the correct. Option B is the correct answer for this question. Only 2 is correct. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is consider the following tribes and states. First is Apatani tribe from Arunachal Pradesh. Yes, it's a correct statement. And if you are talking about the another one, which is Macho Piro, Nagaland, is it true? Yes. No, it's not a correct statement, because अगर हम बात करते हैं मास्टो पिरो की, तो वो किससे रिलेटेड हो जाएगा? तो वो हो जाएगा अमेजोन एंड साउथ ईस्ट एशियन से रिलेटेड. ओके, सो नॉट रिलेटेड टू नागालैंड अलोन. ओके, एंड ये क्या है? नोमैडिक हंटर गैदरर है, और ये अभी तक कॉन्टैक्ट विथ देम इज प्रोहिबिट कर रखा है, बिकॉज फियरिंग द स्प्रेड ऑफ डिजीज अमंग द पॉपुलेशन टू विच इट हैज़ नो इम्यूनिटी. इन लोग के पास इम्यूनिटी बहुत कम है. ओके, इसीलिए इन लोग से भी कॉन्टैक्ट नहीं हुआ है. एंड अनदर वन इज कुकी जो कि कहाँ पे पाया जाता है? ये म्यांमार में. क्योंकि जो साउथ ईस्ट एशियन पीपल लिविंग इन मिजो फ्रीक्वेंटली लुसाई हिल. कहाँ पे? तो लुसाई हिल में, ऑन द बॉर्डर बिटवीन इंडिया एंड Myanmar. Okay, so statement third is also incorrect. So answer for this question is option number A. Only one is correct. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is which of the following association were founded by the B.R. Ambedkar for the upliftment of Dalit section of Indian society? So first statement is All India Scheduled Caste Federation. Yes, it's a correct statement. Next is बहिष्कृत हितकर्णी सभा. ये भी क्रिएट किया गया था, और कब किया गया था? तो 24 में, 1924 में. सो सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट इज ऑल्सो करेक्ट. एंड हरिजन सेवक संघ वॉज गांधी जी के द्वारा किया गया था, ना कि बी आर अम्बेडकर के द्वारा. सो स्टेटमेंट थर्ड इज इनकरेक्ट. सो आंसर फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन इज ऑप्शन नंबर बी. ओनली 2 इज करेक्ट. ओके, एंड इफ़ यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द बहिष्कृत हितकर्णी सभा, इसका एक मोटो था, और मोटो क्या था? तो मोटो था एजुकेट, एजिटेट एंड ऑर्गेनाइज. ये इसका मोटो था. किसका? बहिष्कृत हितकर्णी सभा का. ओके, जो कि बी आर अम्बेडकर के द्वारा फॉर्म किया गया था. एंड अगर हम बात करते हैं हरिजन सेवक संघ की, ये 1932 में एट येरावादो जेल, जो कि पुणे महाराष्ट्र में है, और इसके रिजल्टिंग से क्या होता? पूना पैक्ट साइन हुआ था. ओके, सो स्टेटमेंट थर्ड इज इनकरेक्ट. आंसर इज ऑप्शन नंबर बी. लेट्स कम टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, विच इज Consider the following pairs. First is Viceroys and important events. Lord Chelmsford, establishment of the Hindu Mahasabha. Is it true? No. Establishment of the Hindu Mahasabha किसके द्वारा? लॉर्ड हार्डिंग सेकंड के द्वारा. एंड अगर हम बात करते हैं लॉर्ड लिनलिथ को, तो ये अगस्त ऑफर इससे रिलेटेड है. एंड लॉर्ड विलिंगटन ये कॉम्युनल अवार्ड से रिलेटेड है. ओके. एंड अगर हम बात करते हैं लॉर्ड चेम्सफोर्ड की, तो किससे रिलेटेड है? ये हो जाएगा related to the introduction of Government of India Act 19. So option number D. So answer for this question is option number A, 1 का 4, B का 1, C का 2 and D का 3 is the correct answer for this question. Okay. And if we are talking about the tenure of the all viceroys, like first is लॉर्ड चेम्सफोर्ड. ओके. एंड इफ़ यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द लॉर्ड चेम्सफोर्ड, जो वाइसरॉय थे, ये कब से कब तक थे? तो 1916 टू 1921 तक. ओके. तो इनके टेन्योर में क्या क्या हुआ था? तो पहला तो आया था चेम्सफोर्ड रिफॉर्म 1919 में, एंड जालियांवाला बाग मैसेकर भी 1919 में, एंड देन रॉलेट एक्ट 1919 में, खिलाफत मूवमेंट 1919 में, एंड नॉन कोऑपरेशन मूवमेंट 1920 में. और नॉन कोऑपरेशन मूवमेंट किसके द्वारा लॉन्च किया गया था? महात्मा गांधी के द्वारा लॉन्च किया गया था आफ्टर जब जालियांवाला बाग मैसेकर हुआ उसके बाद. ओके. नेक्स्ट आ जाता है हमारा तो लॉर्ड हार्डिंगे. ओके. इनके बारे में अगर हम बात करते थे, इनके टेन्योर कब से कब तक था? 1910 टू 16 तक. ओके. तो ये चेम्सफोर्ड के हार्डिंग के बाद चेम्सफोर्ड आए थे. ओके. सो इनके टेन्योर में क्या क्या हुआ था? तो दिल्ली दरबार का आयोजन हुआ था 1911 में, जिसमें किंग जॉर्ज 5 एंड क्वीन मैरी मेकिंग शिफ्ट द कैपिटल फ्रॉम कलकत्ता टू दिल्ली इस टाइम किया गया था. एंड इस्टेब्लिशमेंट ऑफ हिंदू महासभा, जो कि 1915 में बाय मदन मोहन मालवीय के द्वारा किया गया था. एंड लखनऊ पैक्ट भी 1916 में हुआ था. लॉर्ड हार्डिंगे उस टाइम वाइसराय थे. एंड उसी टाइम उन्हीं के टेन्योर में फॉर्मेशन ऑफ द होम रूल लीग भी हुआ था 1916 में, एनी बेसेंट के द्वारा एंड बाल गंगाधर तिलक के द्वारा. ओके. एंड अगर हम बात करते हैं लॉर्ड लिनलिथ को, इनके टेन्योर में क्या क्या हुआ था? तो फर्स्ट हो जाएगा अगस्त ऑफर, जो कि 1940 में लाया गया था. ओके. और इनका टेन्योर कितना था? मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट 36 टू 43. ओके. 1936 टू 43 इनका टेन्योर था लॉर्ड लिनलिथ को. और इसमें आया था अगस्त ऑफर 1940 में फर्स्ट, एंड क्विट इंडिया मूवमेंट 1942, एंड अनदर वन इज क्रिप्स मिशन, वो भी 1942. यस. एंड एक्सपेंशन ऑफ द INC. ओके. इसी के पीरियड में हुआ था. ओके. एंड इफ आर टॉकिंग अबाउट अनदर वन विच इज लॉर्ड विलिंगटन, इनके टेन्योर में क्या क्या हुआ था? और इनका फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल टेन्योर कितना था? 31 टू 36. ओके. सो इनके टेन्योर में क्या क्या हुआ था? कॉम्युनल अवार्ड हुआ था 1932 में. ओके. 1932 में. एंड अनदर वन इज गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 1935 आया था किसके? लॉर्ड विलिंगटन के टेन्योर में. अनदर वन इज इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस बॉयकॉट स्टार्ट हुआ था. एंड अनदर वन इज रिप्रेशन ऑफ द सिविल डिसोबीडियंस मूवमेंट. एंड नेक्स्ट वन इज फॉर्मेशन ऑफ ऑल इंडिया फॉरवर्ड ब्लॉक. और ये किसके द्वारा स्टार्ट किया गया था? लेफ्टिस्ट पॉलिटिकल लीडर सुभाष चंद्र बोस के द्वारा फॉरवर्ड ब्लॉक का स्टार्ट किया गया था 1939 में. ओके. सो आंसर इज ऑप्शन नंबर ए. लेट्स कम टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन विच इज कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट विथ रेफरेंस टू द transfer of power initiative by the British during the 1940. So first statement is the Wavell Plan aimed to establish an interim government while the Cripps Mission sought support for the British was effort. Is it true? Yes, it's a correct statement. Next is the Cripps Mission Krebs mission offered dominion status in the future, whereas the Wavell's plan aimed to facilitate immediate Indian participation in governance. Yes, it's also correct statement. So answer for this question is option number C. Both are correct. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is with reference to the Tripuri session of Congress. With reference to the Tripuri session of Congress, consider the following statement. First statement is the Tripura session of Indian National Congress was presided over by the Jawaharlal Nehru. Is it true? No, it's not a correct statement because त्रिपुरी सेशन आईएनसी का प्रिसाइड किसके द्वारा किया गया था? वो किया गया था सुभाष चंद्र बोस के द्वारा. Okay, so first statement is incorrect. Next is in this session Subhash Chandra Bose accused Sardar Patel for compromising with the British government on the question of the federation. Yes, it's a correct statement. So answer for this question is option number B. Only 2 is correct. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is which of the following committee or commission is associated with civil service reforms in British India? It's related to Lee Commission. Okay, and अगर हम बात करते हैं इवोल्यूशन ऑफ द सिविल सर्विसेज इन इंडिया, तो फर्स्ट अगर हम बात करते हैं तो कहाँ से स्टार्ट होगा? तो फर्स्ट रोल हो जाएगा कॉर्नवालिस के टाइम में 1786 टू 93 टाइम में. ओके, जो कि कॉर्नवालिस का टाइम है. और इसमें उन्होंने क्या किया था? ही वॉज द फर्स्ट टू ब्रिंग इन टू एग्जिस्टेंस एंड ऑर्गेनाइज द सिविल सर्विसेज टू एलिमिनेट करप्शन. फॉलोइंग मेजर्स, और इसके कुछ मेजर्स थे. फर्स्ट, लाइक इंक्रीज सैलरी ऑफ सिविल सर्वेंट. सेकेंड, इन्फोर्स्ड रेगुलेशन अगेंस्ट द प्राइवेट ट्रेड. थर्ड, एबोल्यूशन ऑफ प्रेजेंट एंड ब्राइब्स. एंड फोर्थ इज प्रमोशन बेस्ड ऑन सीनियोरिटी. ओके, ये इसके कुछ मेजर्स थे इसके कॉर्नवालिस के. नेक्स्ट इवॉल्व हुआ था वेलेस्ली के द्वारा. वेलेस्ली रोल किया था इनका टेन्योर कितना था? तो 1798 टू 1805. और इस्टेब्लिश किया था फोर्ट विलियम इन 1800 टू ट्रेन न्यूली रिक्रूटेड civil services official. For the Fort William was disapproved of and abolished in 1806 for training. East Indian College at the Haileybury, England took its place. Okay, एंड इसके बाद आता है चार्टर एक्ट. चार्टर एक्ट 1853 की अगर हम बात करते हैं तो उसमें क्या हो जाता है? उसमें क्या रिकमेंडेशन आता है? तो ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी पैट्रोनेज सिस्टम वॉज एबॉलिस्ड. नेक्स्ट वन इज सेकेंड वन, introduced open competition for recruitment. And third one is Indian were initially barred from high post due to their belief in English superiority and their perception of Indian inefficiency and untrustworthy. Okay, so and इसके बाद चार्टर एक्ट 1853 के बाद आता है इंडियन सिविल सर्विस एक्ट, जो कि 1861 का होता है. ओके, उसमें क्या रिकमेंडेशन आता है? सेंट्रल पोस्ट, सर्टेन पोस्ट वर रिजर्व फॉर द गवर्नमेंट सिविल सर्विसेज. एंड second one is examination were held in England based on classical learning. And third is the maximum age was reduced over time for recruitment. Okay, and fourth one, Satyendra Nath Tagore. Satyendra Nath Tagore was the first Indian to qualify in 1863. फर्स्ट किसने क्वालिफाई किया था सिविल सर्विसेज? तो सत्येंद्र नाथ टैगोर. वो भी कब? 1863 में. ओके, देन इसके बाद आता है स्टैट्यूटरी सिविल सर्विसेज, जो कि इंट्रोड्यूस करता है लिटन. एंड देन आता है कांग्रेस डिमांड एंड एटचीसन कमिटी. ओके, एंड अगर हम बात करते हैं कांग्रेस डिमांड की, तो उसमें कौन कौन से, उसमें दो डिमांडेड होती है. एक लोअर द एज लिमिट फॉर रिक्रूटमेंट, अनदर वन इज होल्डिंग साइमल्टेनियस एग्जामिनेशन इन इंडिया एंड ब्रिटेन. ओके, एंड अगर हम बात करते हैं एटचीसो कमिटी रिकमेंड किया गया था डू अवे द कॉवेनेंट्स एंड अनकॉवेनेंटेड and dividing service into imperial, provincial and subordinate civil services. एंड इसमें एज को राइज मतलब रेज करने के इंक्रीज करने की बात कही गई है. एंड द रिजोल्यूशन बाय द हाउस ऑफ कॉमन इन 1893 फेवर्ड simultaneous examination but was never implemented. Simultaneous examination फेवर्ड किया गया था बट इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं किया गया था. ओके, देन आफ्टर आता है मॉन्टेगो रिफॉर्म जो कि 1919 में आता है. ओके, एंड इसमें क्या एडवाइस दिया जाता है, तो एडवोकेट मोर इंडियन एम्प्लॉयमेंट इन पब्लिक सर्विस, देन कंडक्ट साइमल्टेनियस एग्जामिनेशन इन इंडिया एंड इंग्लैंड, and then was 1/3 of the recruitment was to be made in India and it should be progressively increased. Okay, एंड देन आता है ली कमीशन जो कि 1924 में आया था. ली कमीशन कब आया था? 1924 में. ओके, जो कि रिकमेंड किया था द सेक्रेटरी ऑफ स्टेट वाज टू कंटिन्यू रिक्रूटिंग फॉर सम सर्विसेज एंड रिक्रूटिंग इन द transfer field was to be done by the provincial government and these should be 50-50 parity between Europeans and Indian in ICS within 15 years. Okay, and set up करना था Public Service Commission in accordance with the Government of India Act 1919 and Government of India Act 1935 में established हुआ था Federal Provincial Public Service Commission. then आया था साइमन कमीशन एंड अगर हम साइमन कमीशन की बात करते हैं, इंडियन स्टैट्यूटरी कमीशन ग्रुप ऑफ 7 ब्रिटिश मेंबर्स ऑफ पार्लियामेंट chaired by John Simon and appointed in 1927 to investigate working of the Government of India Act 1919 and suggest further constitutional reforms. Okay, and अगर हम बात करते हैं फ्लाउड कमीशन के बारे में, which is ऑप्शन ए फ्लाउड कमीशन, जो कि नॉन एज द बंगाल लैंड रेवेन्यू कमीशन, जो स्टैब्लिश्ड हुआ था 1938 में. ओके, एंड बाय द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ बंगाल, और ये किसके द्वारा किया गया था? तो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ बंगाल के द्वारा स्टैब्लिश किया गया था टू असेस द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ द लैंड रेवेन्यू सिस्टम. ओके, सो आंसर इज ऑप्शन नंबर बी फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन. लेट्स कम टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन विच इज consider the following statements. Defense exercise of India and partner countries. First is nomadic element Mongolia. Is it true? Yes, it's a correct statement. Next is ये करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट है. ये जॉइंट मिलिट्री एक्सरसाइज है. किस नंबर का हुआ है अभी? तो 16th नंबर का. एंड अगर हम बात करते हैं एक्सरसाइज मैत्री थाईलैंड के साथ, यस इट्स ऑल्सो करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट, जो कि अभी 13th नंबर का हुआ है. एंड ये क्या है? तो इंडियन एयरफोर्स विथ द रॉयल ऑस्ट्रेलियन एयरफोर्स के साथ. ओके, रॉयल ऑस्ट्रेलियन एयरफोर्स रफा, ये सॉरी ये तो हुआ है ये दिस वन पिच ब्लैक के साथ. ओके, ये ओके, सो सेकंड इज करेक्ट एंड थर्ड इज इनकरेक्ट बिकॉज ये ऑस्ट्रेलिया के साथ हुआ है. ओके, ऑस्ट्रेलिया के साथ तो क्या हुआ है इसमें? अगर हम पिच ब्लैक की बात करते हैं तो ये यूएस नहीं ऑस्ट्रेलिया होगा, ऑस्ट्रेलिया. एंड इसमें इंडियन एयरफोर्स प्लस ऑस्ट्रेलिया का रॉयल ऑस्ट्रेलियन एयरफोर्स दोनों एक्सरसाइज किए हैं. ओके, सो स्टेटमेंट थर्ड इज इनकरेक्ट. सो आंसर फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन इज ऑप्शन नंबर ए. ओनली 1 and 2 is the correct answer for this question. Okay, let's come to the next question which is consider the following statements with reference to the government scheme in India. First is core scheme and optional scheme are two different types of central sector scheme. Is it true? Yes, no, it's not a correct statement because ये central sector नहीं central sponsored होगा. Okay, so first statement is incorrect. Next is currently there are more number of central sector schemes than centrally sponsored scheme? Yes, it's a correct statement. Next is Narega is a type of centrally sponsored scheme. Yes, it's also correct. So answer for this question is option number A. Only 2 and 3 is the correct answer for this question. Okay. Let's come to the next question, which is the term regenerative braking sometime. Okay, first statement is the term regenerating braking sometimes seen in news is associated with ये किससे related है? So first is converting kinetic energy into heat energy. No. Increase vehicle efficiency by over converting kinetic energy into electrical energy. Yes, it's a correct statement. So answer for this question is option number B. Let's come to the next question, which is consider the following statements. First is Gadar party was founded by the Indian immigrants in London. Is it true? No, it's not a correct statement because ये सैन फ्रांसिस्को में किया गया था यूएसए में कब नवंबर 1913 में. Okay, so first statement is incorrect. Next is Gadar party's leadership primarily consisted for ex-soldiers and peasants. Yes, it's a correct statement. Next is Gadar party's aim was to organize assassination of official published revolutionary and anti-imperialistic literature. Yes, it's also correct. So answer for this question is option number B. Only 2 is correct. Okay, 2 and 3 is correct. Let's come to the next question, which is in the context of Aditya L1, consider the following statements. First is Aditya L1 is India's first space-based astronomy. No, it's not a correct statement. It's a second. Okay, so first statement is incorrect. Next is the it's placed in the some synchronous orbit around the Earth for uninterrupted observation of the sun. No, it's not a correct statement because the Aditya L1 space is in halo orbit around the sun earth Lagrange point 1 Lagrangian point L1 में उसको establish किया तो study the sun continuously. Okay, so first second statement is also incorrect. Next is its aim is to observe the understand chromospheric and coronal dynamics of the sun. Is it true? Yes, it's a correct statement. So answer for this question is option number D. Only 3 is correct. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is with reference to the great Indian bustard. Great Indian bustard is listed in critically endangered on the IUCN Red List. Yes, it's a correct statement. और ये state bird है किसका? तो राजस्थान का. Okay, and next one is it is primarily found in the grassland of Rajasthan and Gujarat. Yes, it's also correct statement. Next statement is the species is migratory and travel long distance across the Asia. No, it's not a correct statement because the great Indian bustard is not a migratory bird. It is largely non-migratory and remain within limited region of its habitat, mostly within the grassland it resides in. Okay, so answer for this question is option number B. Only 1 and 2 are correct. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is which of the following institutions were established during this Swadeshi movement? First is National Council of Education. Is it true? Yes, it's a correct statement. Next is Indian Society of Oriental Art is also correct. Bengal Hindu College also correct. And Banaras Hindu College, no. Banaras Hindu College कब established हुआ था? 1960 में. So answer for this question is option number B. Only 1, 2 and 3 are correct. Let's come to the next question, which is consider the following statement with reference to the Public Safety Bill 1928. First was it was introduced to deport foreigners suspected for propagating socialist and communist ideas. Yes, it's a correct statement. Next is the Indian capitalists actively supported the government introducing the bill. Is it true? No, it's support नहीं करते थे इसको तो रिफ्यूज़ कर दिए थे. ओके, रिफ्यूज्ड इट. So statement second is incorrect. So answer for this question is option number A. Only one is correct. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is in the context of Morley Minto reform, consider the following statement जो कि 1909 में हुआ था. Okay, first statement is the reform brought the elected majority in provincial legislative council. Is it true? No, it's not a correct statement, because the number of elected member in imperial legislative council and the provincial legislative council was increased. In the provincial council a non-official majority was introduced, but since some of these non-officials were nominated and not elected, the overall non-elected majority remained. Okay, so statement first is incorrect. Next, it provided for the association of Indians with executive council for the Viceroy of India. Yes, it's a correct statement. So answer for this question is option number B. Only 2 is correct. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is consider the following zebra mussels and how many of the above species listed above be considered the invasive species. First is zebra mussels. Yes, it's a correct statement. Next is Floga Canthus Sudhanshu Sekhari. No, it's not a correct statement. Sena spectalis. Yes, it's a correct statement. And if you're talking about the zebra mussels larva, ये कहाँ पे कोलोराडो रिवर नियर ग्रैंड जंक्शन ऑफ कोलोराडो रिवर में मिलता है को कोलोराडो रिवर में. और ये कौन सा कोलोराडो रिवर, और ये थ्रेट रिवर्स इकोसिस्टम है एंड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. और कोलोराडो रिवर कौन से कंट्री में है ये आप हमें कमेंट में बताएं. ओके, लेट्स कम टू द नेक्स्ट, विच इज़ द फ्लागोकांथू सुधांशु शेखरी. ये क्या है? तो ये इन्वेसिव स्पेसीज नहीं है, जबकि इसको बोटानिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया के द्वारा डिस्कवर किया है. न्यू प्लांट जो कि एक कहाँ पे मिला है? तो अरुणाचल प्रदेश में. और अगर हम बात करते हैं नेक्स्ट वन, विच इज सेना स्पेक्टाबिलिस. ये क्या है? तो ये भी इन्वेसिव स्पेसीज है. कहाँ पे? केरला फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट इसको फाउंड किया है, केरिया. एंड ये कहाँ पे है? दिस प्लांट्स थ्रेटेंड द वाइल्ड लाइफ हैबिटेट इन द नीलगिरी बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व. एंड इसमें हम बात करते हैं, और ये नेटिव किसका है? सेना स्पेक्टुलस, तो यूएसए का. एंड ये इकोलॉजिकल इम्पैक्ट, और ये किससे है? लिस्ट कंसर्न में है, IUCN रेड लिस्ट के. एंड ये वायनाड वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरी को भी अफेक्ट कर रहा है. किसको? वायनाड वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरी को. ओके, सो आंसर फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन इज ऑप्शन नंबर बी. ओनली 2 इज करेक्ट, जबकि ये करेक्ट नहीं है. ओके, लेट्स कम टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, विच इज प्रोजेक्ट नेक्सस. Project Nexus, sometimes seen in news, first is associated with promoting renewable energy. Is it true? No, it's not a correct statement. Another one is enabling instant cross-border retail payment. Yes, it's a correct statement. So answer for this question is option number B is the correct answer for this question. Recently, the RBI has joined Project Nexus, an international initiative to establish to enable instant cross-border retail payment by linking multiple countries' domestic fast payment system. So, India's Unified Payment System UPI will be connected with the FPS, which is a fast payment system of Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, with potential expansion to more countries. Okay, and if you're talking about the Project Nexus, conceptualized by the Bank of International Settlement and Innovation Hub, aims to standardize the connectivity between various instant payment systems globally, and this will streamline cross-border payment, completing transaction within 60 seconds. And the platform simplifies the process by allowing a single connection to Nexus to link to all other countries in the network, accelerating the growth of instant cross-border payment. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is this context, this the Surat split, consider the following statement. First is the Surat session of Indian National Congress was presided over by the Dadabhai Naoroji. Is it true? No, it's not a correct statement because ये दादाभाई नौरोजी के द्वारा प्रिसाइड नहीं किया था, राज बिहारी घोष के द्वारा किया गया था. ओके, राज बिहारी घोष. फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट इज इनकरेक्ट एंड सूरत स्प्लिट कब हुआ था? 1907 में. नेक्स्ट स्टेटमेंट इज so first statement is incorrect. Next is the main reason for the Surat split was the disagreement over the method of political struggle. Yes, it's a correct statement. So answer for this question is option number B. Only 2 is correct. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is which of the following feature of the Home Rule League movement in India? First is circulation of pamphlet, boycott and picketing. Organizing libraries and reading room, participating in local government and activities. All 1, 2, 1, 3 and 4 is correct. 2 is not correct answer. So answer for this question is option number C. Only 3 is correct. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is the government arrested 31 labor leaders. The 3.5 of the year trial resulted in the conviction of Muzaffar Ahmad, S.A. Dange and Shaukat Usmani. The trial got worldwide publicity but weakened the working class movement. Which of the following case has been referred here? तो वो कौन सा केस हो जाएगा? वो हो जाएगा मेरठ कॉन्स्पिरेंसी केस. ओके, सो लेट्स कम टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, विच इज consider the following statements regarding the Kheda Satyagraha. First statement is the revenue code provided for the total remission of the land revenue when crops were less than 1/4 of the normal yield. Is it true? Yes, it's a correct statement. Next is the Gandhi presided over Gujarat Sabha, which played a significant role during this movement. Yes, it's a correct statement. Next is this movement coincided with Khilafat movement. No, it's not coincided with the Khilafat movement. So statement third is incorrect. Next is an agreement was reached for the remission of the land revenue for all the farmers. Is it true? No, it's not a correct statement because in the Kheda Satyagraha was part of Gandhi's regional movement in his initial days in 1918, where as the Khilafat non-cooperation movement was his all India movement launched in 1920. So both movement belong to the different period with different causes. तो ये सेम कोइंसाइड कैसे कर सकता है? तो स्टेटमेंट इसकी वजह से गलत है. एंड इफ आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द फोर्थ वन, विच इज गवर्नमेंट हैड इशूड इंस्ट्रक्शन डायरेक्टिंग दैट रेवेन्यू शुड बी रिकवर्ड ओनली फ्रॉम द दोज पीजेंट्स हु कुड पे. ये सबसे नहीं लिया जाता था, उनसे लिया जाता था दोज हु कैन पे. Okay, so statement fourth is also incorrect. So answer for this question is option number A. Only 1 and 2 are correct. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is on the Feb 20, 1947, British Prime Minister Clement Attlee issued a statement. The statement hinted at किसको hint करता था? So first statement is gradual transition to a federal Indian with strong regional autonomy. No, unified India with no divisions or communal tension. Yes, it's a correct statement. Next is no, it's not a correct statement. Partition of balkanization of the country into multiple independent state. Yes, it's a correct statement. So answer for this question is option number C is the correct. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is consider the following statements independently organize workers and peasant in class organization. Is it true? And इसमें पूछा क्या है? How many of the above were objective of the workers and peasants party? Okay, So first statement is correct. Next is firstly achieve complete independence and then the ultimate goal is socialism. Yes, it's also correct. Next is work with the Congress to give it a more radical orientation. It's also correct. So answer for this question is option number C. All three are correct. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is Haripura session 1934 presided over by the Subhash Chandra Bose. Yes, it's a correct statement. Next is it emphasized the need for the adoption of radical approach towards the British government. It's also correct. Next is National Planning Committee was set up under the chairmanship of Jawaharlal Nehru. It's also correct. Okay, so answer for this question is option number C. All three are correct. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is consider the following statements regarding the Tana Bhagat movement. First, the Tana Bhagat movement was initiated by Jatra Ora in 1914. Is it true? Yes, it's a correct statement. Next is the movement was focused on rejecting the earthly possession, spirit worship, and sacrifices. Yes, it's a correct statement. Next is if we're talking about the unlike other tribals, the Tana Bhagat movement was violent and focused on physical resistance. No, it's not a correct statement because the Tana Bhagat conducted peaceful protest against the colonial authorities and local landlords, rejecting violence as a mean of the achievement of their goals. Okay, ये बहुत peaceful था ना कि violent. So answer for this question is option number A. 1 and 2 only are correct. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is with reference to Nehru report. First statement is Subhash Chandra Bose was part of the committee that drafted the Nehru report. Yes, it's a correct statement. Next is the Nehru report made a recommendation for both Indian and princely states. No, it's not a correct statement because Nehru report confined itself to British India as it envisaged the future link up of British India with the princely state on a federal basis. Okay, so first is and second statement is incorrect. Next is the right to form union was treated as a fundamental right. Yes, it's a correct statement. So answer for this question is option number D, which is 1 and 3 is correct. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is with reference to the Gandhi Irwin Pact. Consider the following statement. Okay, first is the term agreements included the immediate release of all political prisoners. Yes, no, it's not a correct statement because the term of the agreement included the immediate release of all political prisoners not convicted of violence, the remission of all fines not yet collected, the return of confiscated lands not yet sold to third parties, and lenient treatment for those government employees who had resigned. So, first statement is incorrect. Next is the Congress demanded for the public inquiry into police exercise during civil disobedience movement was accepted. It's also not correct because ये accept नहीं किया था, not accepted. Okay, so statement second is also incorrect. Next is the Congress on its part agreed to discontinue the civil disobedience movement and participate in the first round table conference. No, it's also incorrect because ये second round conference table में participate किया था. So answer for this question is option number D. None of the above is correct because there is asking about correct statement और कोई सा भी statement correct नहीं है. Okay, so next question is with reference to the Second World War and Indian response, consider the following statements. So first is the Congress decided to support the British war effort unconditionally. No, it's not a correct statement because because the Congress on its part agreed to discontinue the civil disobedience movement. It was also understood that the Congress would participate in the next second round conference table. Sorry, इसमें क्या है तो फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट है कांग्रेस डिसाइडेड टू सपोर्ट द ब्रिटिश वॉर एफर्ट अनकंडीशनली और सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर रिलेटेड इंडियन रिस्पॉन्स में पूछा होगा सो फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट इज इनकरेक्ट बिकॉज द ऑफर वॉज रिजेक्टेड by the Linlithgow, the Viceroy, the Congress argued that these conditions were necessary to win public opinion for war. Okay, so first statement is not correct. Next is socialists within the Congress advocated the strategy of taking advantages of the British weakening to secure India's freedom. Yes, it's a correct statement. Next is Jawaharlal Nehru differed from Gandhiji on the question of support the British war effort. Yes, it's also correct. So answer for this question is option number B. Only 2 and 3 is correct. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is the reference of foreign tribunals. Consider the following statement. First is they are quasi judicial formed by the central government. Yes, it's a correct statement. Next is decision of the foreign tribunal can be directly applied by the Supreme Court. No, it's not a correct statement because ये decision of foreign tribunal not can be cannot be directly appealed to the Supreme Court. Okay, so answer for this question is option number A. Only one is correct. Let's come to the next question, which is which of with reference to the freedom struggle in princely state, consider the following statement. So first statement is Balwant Rai Mehta was crucial in the organized the All India State People's Conference in 1927. Yes, it's a correct statement. Next is Jawaharlal Nehru supported the right of self-determination of the people of princely state in the Lahore session of INC. Yes, it's also correct. Next is the Haripura session of the Congress supported its association with the movement of the people in princely state. Is it true? No, it's not a correct statement because in the Haripura session, which happened in 1938, the Congress had reiterated its policy that movement in the state should not be launched in the name of the Congress but should rely on their own independent strength and fight through the local organization. Okay, so answer for this question is option number B. Only 2 is correct because there is asking about the correct statement. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is Luca. LUCA, sometimes seen in news, is associated with the last common and central for all life on the earth. Okay, option number D is the correct answer for this question. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is in the context of social movement during the first quarter of the 20th century, the Nai Dhobi Bandh movement started in कब start हुआ था? So 1920 में 20 रिपोर्ट में तो इसका आंसर क्या हो जाए कहाँ पे स्टार्ट हुआ था तो वो अवध में ऑप्शन नंबर बी इज द करेक्ट आंसर फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन ओके लेट्स कम टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन विच इज during the first half of the 20th century under the colonial rule the Royal Commission 1908 was appointed to first statement is centralized administrative control in British India. No, it's not a correct statement. Next is increase in the power and responsibilities of the local provincial government. Yes, it's a correct statement. So answer for this question is option number B is the correct statement. And if you're talking about the Royal Commission on Decentralization 1908 was initiated by British colonial government in India to examine feasibility of transferring more administrative and financial powers from the central authorities to local municipal and district level bodies. Okay, and some function effectively some functions की अगर हम बात करते हैं, it emphasized that the village panchayat should be given additional authority and they should sufficient sources of revenue. And if another one is, it was emphasized that sub-district boards should be established in every taluka or tehsil. And another one is, it demanded the removal of all current limitation on their ability to impose taxes as well as the end of regular grants in aid from the provincial government except the large scale project. And another one is, municipalities may take up primary education responsibilities and if they so choose they must establish middle school in their native tongue, and if not the government should ab- absolve the municipalities of all duties pertaining the secondary education, hospitals and relief, law enforcement and veterinary cares. Okay, एंड अगर इम्पॉर्टेंट मेजर्स की बात करते हैं हम रॉयल कमीशन डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन के बारे में, सो फर्स्ट इज मायोस रिजोल्यूशन जो कि 1870 में हुआ था, एंड रिपन्स रिजोल्यूशन 1882 जिसको मैग्ना कार्टा ऑफ द लोकल सेल्फ गवर्नमेंट भी बोला जाता है, एंड अनदर वन इज गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया रिजोल्यूशन 1915 को, एंड अनदर वन इज रिजोल्यूशन ऑफ मे 1918. This formed part of the wider constitutional reforms which had the objective of preparing India for a region of self-government, and another one is Government of India Act 1935. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is the term greenum sometimes is greenium sometimes seen in news, which is related to the yield difference between thematic and ordinary bond due to sustainability. Is it true? Yes, it's a correct statement. So answer for this question is option number A is the correct statement. And if you're talking about the greenium, which is defined as the difference in yield between thematic bonds and ordinary bonds of the similar maturity based on the logic that investors are willing to pay extra for the bond with sustainable impact. And if you're talking about the survey highlights that need for the developed countries to provide more accessible, affordable financial resources in lines with the UNFCCC and Paris Agreement climate. Okay. So answer is option number A. Let's come to the next question, which is with the reference which of the following statement are correct regarding the Indian National Army. First is Ras Bihari Bose was instrumental of the initial formation of Indian National Army. Is it true? No, it's not a correct statement because it's not Ras Bihari Bose. It was Captain Mohan Singh. Okay, Captain Mohan Singh. So first statement is incorrect. Next is the Axis power organized in Indian National Army during the World War II. Yes, it's a correct statement. Next is the Indian National Army participated in the Imphal Kohima campaign. Yes, it's also correct statement. So answer for this question is option number B. Only 2 and 3 are the correct answer for this question. So thank you so much guys. आज के लिए इतना ही, क्योंकि ये हमारा 14 टेस्ट कंप्लीट हो गया. ओके, एंड कल होगा 15 टेस्ट का पार्ट 1. ओके, so thank you so much. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel.